What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, hit that bell notification so you know every time I put out one of these videos so you can watch it. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate y'all. So let's go ahead and get into this right now. And this is, to me, a crazy story. This is some news. This is about Tyson Meats. And this is about them firing United States citizens and letting them go, or not even letting them go, just not even hiring them over illegal immigrants. They are not undocumented. They are illegal immigrants. They are illegally. So, we're going to watch this little news clip by Jesse Waters Primetime, and not because I'm a Fox News advocate. I know that this is true, that Tyson Meats have been doing this for a very long time. And I will talk about that a little bit more from my perspective in Ohio, where I used to live, after the story goes. So let's go and watch this real quick.
Perry, Iowa is one of the great American suburbs. Quaint shops on the main boulevard, local produce sections at the grocery store, and pristine parks sprinkled throughout the town. It reached a golden era in the 60s and 70s when Tyson Foods opened up its pork factory and revolutionized the town's economy. It's a relatively small town with strong values and a very close-knit community.
I just think it's a friendly community, and if you are willing to put out a little effort, I think everyone makes you feel welcome.
Would you consider Perry a good place to grow?
Dude, I love that, how she said that. If you're willing to put in for some effort, it's a good place to live. But if you're lazy, we don't want you here. Basically what she was saying.
Definitely. I am really pro Perry.
I like the small town atmosphere. You get to know people, you walk down the street, they say hi to you. If you need help, you know who you can turn to, that kind of thing.
But Perry, Iowa is about to change drastically, and not for the better. This week, Tyson Foods announced that it will be permanently closing its pork factory in Perry, killing around 1,200 jobs in a town of just 8,000 people.
Dude, that's like 22% of the workforce there laid off overnight. That's insanity, dude. I mean, listen, small towns like that, big things come in, you build your whole economy around this big factory, and then they close down and you're screwed. It's like, I get it, dude, but to think that it's going to last forever, it's a little naive. Now, the reason why they're closing down, as we'll experience this here in a second, the reason why they're closing down is crazy.
So as Perry residents struggle to cope with mass layoffs, Tyson Foods has its eyes on a different class of workers. The company is now offering new jobs to asylum seekers in other states like New York. Bloomberg says Tyson's tracking migrants in a massive database. They scroll through the data like Facebook. You see a worker you like, tap hire. They even had a job fair.
So you were at a Tyson fair in New York City not so long ago where Tyson was basically making this pitch. What did you observe when you went there?
They created a database for these new asylum seekers in New York City. So these people would...
Bro, I love how they call them asylum seekers. Hey, asylum seekers don't kick cops in the head. Asylum seekers ain't raping young girls and killing them. They're not all asylum seekers, dude. They're not all undocumented. They're all illegal. Stop sugarcoating the freaking message and say it how it is. They are illegal. So now in the United States, we don't take care of our own. We want to take care of illegal people doing illegal shit by coming through our border illegally. It is illegal act. They are illegally undocumented. It is wrong for to take care of them better than we take care of our own people that are citizens, especially veterans, which kills me that 22 veterans a day approximately kill themselves. And we're helping illegal asylum seekers, the undocumented. They're not illegal. They're undocumented because we won't get them documented fast enough. That's why they're illegal. Oh, shit drives me crazy, man. It drives me crazy, dude. And now they're making a database where they can go in and pick a job and then go do it. Listen to this, dude.
For these new asylum seekers in New York City. So these people would come in, they'd learn a little bit about the company, and for the most part, Tyson had already gone through their various details of their application. And so many of them, 17 the day I was there, and then another 70 a couple weeks later, went off to Tennessee to go start their new jobs as Tyson production workers.
Oh, and the jobs come with perks, not just health insurance. Tyson's also offering lawyers to its illegal alien workers and time off to attend immigration hearings. In 2034, of course, they're firing Americans and offering perks to illegals. This was the Democrat plan all along.
Well, first of all, let's just say we are a nation of immigrants. 460,000 open jobs today. Wow. I have 5,000 farm jobs that I need filled so we can plant the crops.
Vegetables would rot in the ground if they weren't being picked by many immigrants, many illegal immigrants.
They keep saying illegal. They're like, hey, they need to come here illegally, seek asylum illegally, because we don't have enough people, Americans, to do the work. That's not true. And here's another thing. A lot of these illegal immigrants coming here as asylum seekers, they're coming from a lot of other countries that they're criminals in. These countries, like Cuba, okay, like Haiti right now, but like Cuba did in the past, like Haiti's doing right now, they release all of their criminals out of their jails. And then they go to America. And then, like Venezuela, I believe it's Venezuela, they're not even accepting plane flights from people who are deported from this country to come back to their own country, because they don't want them there. So why the hell should we want them here? They're criminals. Not 100% of them, but a lot of them. A lot of them. More than what these libtards are telling you. They're not just here to pick vegetables. Freaking idiots, dude. I'm sorry, man. Everybody out there, if you believe this Democratic Party and Biden administration, you really believe that the vegetables and fruit would just rot in the ground if there was no illegal immigrants to pick them.
Immigrants, many illegal immigrants.
You see, even in Florida, some of the farmers and the growers saying, why are you shipping these immigrants up north? We need them to pick the crops.
We reached out to Tyson for
we need them to pick the crops for cheap labor.
comment, and they said they have a very diverse set of employees, and they're proud of it. Ohio Senator and author of Hillbilly Elegy, J.D. Vance, joins us now. I didn't think it was legal, Senator, to axe American workers and hire en masse illegal aliens.
Well, it shouldn't be, Jesse, and we're certainly going to look into whether we can change that, assuming Tyson is operating legally, which we don't even know if they are. We don't know the details of this. All we know, Jesse, is that they are firing American workers and hiring illegal aliens to replace them. This is the entire point of illegal immigration, and Republicans, we've got to hammer this point home. It reduces the wages of American workers by replacing American citizens with foreign laborers who are willing to work at slave wages. It has been the plan, as you said, from the beginning, and what this means is the eradication of the American dream. Every time an American is replaced with an illegal immigrant, it means that an American family loses a good family supporting wage. It means that American companies are literally replacing our own citizens with people who will work for slave wages. That is not capitalism or a market economy, Jesse. That is the decimation of the American middle class via illegal immigration, and it's happening all over the country.
And this poor town's going to get slaughtered. All of those people laid off in such a small town, it's just going to have such a tremendous impact. Are they getting around it legally by saying, we're not hiring illegal aliens, we're hiring asylum seekers? Is that how they do it?
Well, that's one of the ways that they do it, Jesse, and we know that the Biden administration has made it easier to basically pretend that economic migrants are asylum seekers. It's one of the reasons why we have to change our asylum laws in this nation. But, Jesse, think about how much of a contrast this presents between the Trump economy and the Biden economy. If you go back to the Trump economy, you had American jobs going to American workers. You had wages rising. Under the Biden economy, you have those American workers getting fired and replaced with foreign labor. This is not an exaggeration. All net job creation, Jesse, you heard me right, 100% of net job creation under the Biden administration has gone to the foreign born. So we are taking an economy that produces.
That's true? I don't know if that's true offhand, but I don't know why he would lie about it on air, but politicians and news people, they're lying all the time into our face and expecting us to believe it, and they've been doing it. And obviously, you can love or hate Trump, but he exposed fake media. The media, mainstream media, legacy media, whatever you want to call it, has not been the same since Trump came in office. So 100% of the net jobs that have been created under the Biden administration have went to foreign labor.
Produce prosperity for American citizens and turning it into an economy that produces prosperity.
I mean, hold on a minute. I want to hear that little part again, dude.
Foreign born.
Foreign born.
This is not an exaggeration. All net job creation, Jesse, you heard me right, 100% of net job creation under the Biden administration has gone to the foreign born. So we are taking an economy that produced prosperity for American citizens and turning it into an economy that produces prosperity for people who probably shouldn't be here in the first place. And I bet you know what Tyson isn't doing, Jesse? I bet they're not drug testing the illegal immigrants who are coming in. I bet they're not asking whether they're bringing fentanyl or drugs into that small town with them. This is the end of the American dream if we let this stuff happen. We've got to reelect Donald Trump, and we've got to get congressional Republicans with some spine to push back against this stuff.
Here, here. Thanks for.
I will agree with that. Donald Trump needs to be the next president again. I don't believe that the Biden administration or the Democratic Party, no matter who they want to try to put in there, if they do not decide to keep Biden on the podium, none of which you want Gavin Newsom to be your president. Look how he's running California. You want to see Michelle Obama in president? Get what Obama did all over again. And it wasn't great for most people. He didn't even do nothing for the black community. Do you want Biden to be president again? Bernie, who? Hillary Clinton? Any of those, to me, terrible people to be a president. For the Democratic, because they're going to keep the status quo. They're just going to keep shit going. They're not going to change any of this. And I love how the Biden administration also like, stop the immigration. You guys let it pour in to get enough of what you wanted out of it. Now you're going to try to be the heroes and close the border to get reelected. I think people are already seeing past all of your bullshit, dude. So please, out there, do not fall for this. And let me tell y'all, Tyson Foods have been doing this for a long time. Okay. I worked in Fairfield, Ohio. Okay. I'm from Ohio, Cincinnati area. And I worked in Hamilton County in Fairfield, Ohio. And right around the corner from the shop that I was doing mobile offices. I worked for a company called Williams Scotsman. And it's a mobile office company. They rent mobile offices to job sites and stuff. And I was a supervisor for their shop. And one day, somebody comes back in from their lunch break going on getting food. Like, dude, you ain't going to believe what is happening over at Tyson Factory, dude. And it was right around, I mean, literally the next street over. I mean, you could see it from our shop. But when you drove past there was SWAT, there was immigration police, they were everywhere. And there was like, I can't have an exact number, but it was a lot. I want to say it was a huge factory. There was like, I think they said there were like 100, 200 illegal immigrants. It was a lot. I think it was over 100. And they were hiding. Tyson Foods in this location were hiding them. They were telling them to hide. They were pulling them out of these giant air ducts. Like that they were hiding in and behind big machinery. They literally were hiding, and these cops were finding them and pulling them out of air ducts, dude. If you're from Ohio, Fairfield area especially, let me know in the comment section below if you're from Ohio and you remember this. This is probably 06, 07, 08 time frame, right around there. And they were hiding air ducts. Dude, crazy thing. And you go around the block, you can see them all pulling them out, have them detained and all that. But we ain't doing that no more. We're not detaining people. And here's another little story. This is about my dad, who has zero moral compass. Okay, we do not speak. And I have not spoken to my dad in a long time. I've only spent a few years around him in my life. And he's not, I'm not here to bash my dad, but he's not a good guy. And I'll tell you why. My dad had a brick contracting business where he bricked houses. I think he was in business for about 22 years. And I found out he didn't pay his taxes. He did a lot of fraud shit. But I don't know if he got caught for it all, but he definitely was not an honest human being and definitely did not try to do the right thing. He, in my opinion, my father is very un-American. He hired 10, 15 illegal immigrants, or when one would leave, he would find another one to hire. They would know their friend, and he would hire them. And back then, I wasn't really hip to what was going on. I just got out of the military, got back from Iraq. What my dad was doing was the least of my worries. And I worked for him for a short period of time when I got out of the military. Until I found out that he told me I'm laid off, and my brother, I go to take my girlfriend to work to borrow her vehicle to go to a job interview because I'm laid off. And he has my POS, if you don't know what that piece of shit cousin, who is a just terrible human being, in my opinion, criminal and everything. Hey, him working, being the foreman, and 5 illegal Mexicans working on the day he told me I was laid off. He didn't think I was going to find out because the job site was about an hour away from our house. And yeah, my girlfriend lived that far away from where we lived. And out that way was where all the work was. We lived out in the country. So I was out that way too, going to a job interview. So I dropped her off. And I was like, I'm going to go past the job site, being a good son. And I'm going to check on the job site since we're not working. The machinery is sitting there. I'm just going to make sure that everything's good on this job site until we get back to work. He said we were laid off for like a week. And I drove past there, and who do I see? My POS cousin driving a forklift, getting water in these big water barrels from down the street. And I followed him back. I stopped him like, what the are you doing? How are you working? I'm his son who just got out of the military. I'm just son. I followed him back to the job site. I was pissed. I called my dad and everything. Raised flipping hell, dude. And go back to the job site, and 5, and they're all undocumented. They're all illegal, working. No, but I'm laid off. Oh, we're laid off. We're not working, you sack of shit. So he would hire these illegal immigrants because he benefited from it. He would give them cheaper wages than he gave most of his American workers. And then the 08 recession hits and he starts losing business. Now, my dad didn't lose business because of illegal immigrants coming here, because at that time it wasn't even that bad. Like now it's bad. Now you could maybe blame it on that. They're taking our jobs. Back then they weren't taking our jobs. There weren't enough of them coming here. And he would hire them because he could get away with cheap labor. And then when the 08 recession hit, he lost his business because he would cuss and allow his guys to smoke weed on the job sites, which I don't care if people smoke weed, but there's a time and place. And it is not at work. And if I have my own business, I have a construction, I do home remodels. And if I ever had an employee and they showed up to my job and I caught them getting high on my job, first offense, you're done. And there's no redemption, because I would be very clear beforehand about what my expectations are on this job site, because you could ruin my reputation in one go. So guess what? You're ruining your reputation on one go. One strike with that, you're done with me, dude. And he didn't. So he lost business over years from builders. One builder gave him $500,000 plus a year in business. just from that one builder, and told him more than once is all you should have to tell an adult, especially if you're a business person, to not smoke weed on my job site. If I ever catch you again, you'll never work for me again. And that's exactly what happened. Not even 6 months later, after he had this discussion with my father, who is an idiot. Didn't care about his kids, didn't care about his legacy, didn't care about his boys taking over the business later on when they get older. Nope, I'm just going to ruin everything by smoking weed on the job site because I should be able to smoke weed. And it wasn't legal anywhere in the country, not even medicinal at this point. So, doesn't matter what you think you should be allowed to do. That's wrong. So then the Great Recession hits. He lost his business due to his own stupidity, not immigrants. And he starts going around and recording job sites where people are hiring illegal immigrants, just like he did when he was prospering. But because he's losing and somebody else isn't, he wants to expose them. And that's what's going on in this country right now. When it's good for you, you'll do it. When it's not, you want to expose the other person that was doing the exact same thing you was doing. And Tyson Foods has been doing it. Small businesses like my father's construction site was doing it. It's been a thing, and it needs to stop. I can tell you right now, as a business owner, I would do a background check. I'm not going to drug test you because I don't care what you do in your free time. Just don't show up on my job site jacked up or doing it on my job site, because I will relieve you immediately from your position. Secondly, I would do no drug test, but I would do, because I don't think they work, I would do a background check. I would check references, and I'd make sure that you have you're documented if you are Mexican or immigrant from another country. And I'm not against immigrants. My fiance is an immigrant. She came from another country, from Spain, and did the legal way and paid lawyer fees and waited her turn while working and paying taxes with her green card. So there's a way to do it. If it takes too long, that sucks, but you can still work here, pay your taxes until you become a legal citizen with a passport. That's what she did. And it took her 15 years, which I think is too long, but she still did it the right way. So that's where my stance is on it. I don't agree with the immigration. I disagree with illegal immigration and the way they're coming in and taking jobs at shelters from homeless people that are citizens, that are veterans, especially. To me, that hits home, that they are taking jobs from regular workers who are not homeless. They're taking shelter, they're taking jobs, and this is literally a reality now. It is happening. They are taking jobs. Look at Tyson, and Tyson's been doing this for years, dude. So what we need is every American to step up and go, this is not right. There's got to be a right way to do it. Can we do a faster job at vetting people to get them into the country if they really are seeking asylum? I think the answer to that should be yes. With technology we have today, we could obviously do a better job. The problem is we don't want to support our own Americans doing a job. We want to support illegals because of their votes. And they're going to help Democratic Party and other politicians remain in power. And that's what we don't want. So enough of my rant about this. I hope you all are infuriated as I am about hearing stuff like this, and stand up for what you believe in, stand up for the Constitution, stand up for the American rights, because whether you believe it doesn't affect you at your front door right now or not, it eventually will. This stuff all trickles down to your doorstep eventually. Be wise, stay in control of your life, and don't give in. Even if the woke mob comes and gets you, who gives a shit? Let them come for you, because you're morally correct. Stand on your morals and stand tall. I love y'all. Until next time, peace.
I've traveled so far, couldn't tell you how far. Feels as though I have been a million places at once. Many lives I have lived, many battles I fought and lost.